Italy, October the 9th, 1963. Before midnight, nearly 2,000 people in the valley below the Vajont Dam will be gone. The dam will not fail, and still, the valley will not survive the night. In Longarone, under the dam, the bars are full. There is football on the television. Children are asleep. Nobody is thinking about the dam. The dam is perfect. Above the lake stands Monte Toc, 2,000 meters of limestone the locals never trusted. Their dialect name for it means rotten. And tonight, on the crest, engineers are watching that mountain in the dark. They have been watching for 3 years. They know something is coming. 10:39. The mountain moves. Case file number 3. The Vajont Dam. The tallest dam of its kind on Earth, and the reason it survived the disaster that killed nearly 2,000 people below it. Nothing here happens by accident. That word does not survive the investigation. What you are about to see was described, in writing, years in advance. After the war, Italy rebuilds. Rebuilding runs on electricity. In the northeast, the power belongs to one private company, ASDSO. Its engineers find a perfect valley, narrow, deep, high. The plan is audacious, a concrete arch 261 meters tall, higher than any dam of its kind ever built, thin, elegant, strong, holding back 150 million cubic meters of water. The designer is Carlo Semenza, 60 years old, the most respected dam engineer in Italy. This will be his masterpiece. Construction begins in 1957. High above the gorge, the arch rises. White, slender, perfect. By September 1959, it is finished. Now it needs its lake. March 1959. At another ASDSO reservoir, a slope lets go. 3 million cubic meters slide into the water. The wave kills a workman. His name was Arcangelo Tiziani. A company geologist had predicted that slide in writing 8 months earlier. The report changed nothing. Remember that. 2 months later, a journalist named Tina Merlin starts writing about the Vaiont. The people of Urto, above the lake, are telling her the mountainside is not safe. She prints it. The company does not answer the geology, it answers the journalist. Tina Merlin is charged with spreading false and alarming news. February 1960. The valves close and the Vajont begins to fill. As the water rises up the toe of Monte Toc, the mountain begins, very quietly, to wake. Survey markers start to move, millimeters a day. Then a crack opens high on the mountain, shaped like a giant letter M, 2 kilometers long. The designer's own son sees it for what it is. Edoardo Semenza, a young geologist, maps the slope and finds what nobody once found. This mountainside has fallen before. It is one ancient landslide, asleep on a buried slip surface, with a new lake soaking its feet. He estimates its size, 250 million cubic meters. He is off by 4%. The company's senior experts disagree. The mountain is solid, they say. A deep slide is impossible. The report goes in a drawer. The filling continues. November the 4th, 1960. The lake stands at 650 meters. 700,000 cubic meters of Monte Toc break loose and slide in. The wave is 2 meters high. Nobody is hurt. It is the gentlest warning a mountain has ever given. And it changes everything, because now they know. The M-shaped crack is not a crack, it is a perimeter. It traces exactly the outline their geologist described. The mountain has drawn a map of what will fall. Sarder faces a choice: abandon the greatest dam in Europe, or accept the landslide and manage it. They choose to manage it. They give the plan a name that should frighten anyone: a controlled landslide. The theory works like this. The slide moves when the lake rises, so the lake is a throttle. Raise the water, the mountain creeps. Lower it, the mountain rests. Fill slowly, and it will slide slowly, piece by piece, into the deep end, where it can do no harm. They are not preventing the landslide. They are scheduling it. They even build for it. A tunnel is driven along the far shore so that when the slide cuts the lake in two, the reservoir still works. In Padua, they build the disaster in miniature, a scale model of the valley. They drop material into a little lake and measure the little waves. The model delivers its verdict in July 1962. Keep the lake below 700 meters, and even the worst imaginable slide is totally safe. That number will run this valley for 15 months. That report is never sent to the state authorities. Neither is the map of the ancient slide. On paper, officially, Monte Toc is stable. Carlo Semenza does not live to see it tested. He dies in October 1961. His last letters worry about the mountain. Through 1962, the experiment runs. Lake up, the mountain creeps. Lake down, it calms. Twice, the pattern holds. 2 data points become a law of nature. Then politics arrives. Italy nationalizes electricity. Sarde's empire will pass to the state at a price set by what its plants are worth. The Vajont is worth nothing until it is proven at full depth. April 1963. The third filling begins. Past 650, past 680. In early September, the lake touches 710, 10 meters above the safe line. And Monte Toc breaks the pattern. 1 centimeter a day becomes 3. Then the autumn rains come, and the markers keep accelerating whether the lake rises or not. The throttle is not connected to anything. It never was. The correlation was the mountain agreeing with them, twice, on its way down. September the 26th. The engineers do the only thing the theory offers. They open the outlets and lower the lake, meter by meter, back toward 700. The number the model called safe. The mountain does not slow down. 20 centimeters a day now. Trees lean, roads crack, are patched, and crack again. The farmers say the animals have already come down off Toc. October the 8th. The company closes the road across the dam and warns the villages by the shore to keep back from the water. Nobody warns Longarone. The evening of October the 9th is cold and wet. On the crest, the night shift watches the slope in the dark. Below, the bars are filling for the football. At 10:39, the south side of the valley gives way. 260 million cubic meters of mountain, moving as one piece at 100 kilometers an hour. The slide lasts 45 seconds. 50 million cubic meters of water has nowhere to be. It climbs the far side of the valley as a single black wave, 250 meters above the shore. Then it turns, gathers, and comes back over the dam. Not a surge, a wall, more than 100 meters above the crest of the tallest dam of its kind on Earth. The dam takes the blow and holds. It loses little more than the walkway along its top. Everything Carlo Semenza calculated holds. The 60 men in the site buildings do not. The wave takes the offices, the control room, the hotel above the gorge. Then it drops a quarter of a kilometer into the valley below. The air arrives first, a pressure wave that blows out windows ahead of the water. At 10:43, 4 minutes after the mountain moved, 70 meters of water reach Longarone. It does not flood the town. It removes it. When the water withdraws, there are no streets left to flood. Of 1,300 people in Longarone that night, more than 9 in 10 are gone. Dawn shows a valley scraped to bedrock, and above it, a dam, intact, holding back a lake that no longer exists. The official count of the dead is 1,919. The inquiry ends in a criminal court, because the question was never what fell. Everyone can see what fell. The question is, who knew? The court hears about the sun's map, the model report with its safe number, never forwarded, 3 years of measurements, creeping upward, and a journalist's warnings that had already been to trial. In 1971, Italy's highest court convicts the engineer who ran the project. Flood and manslaughter. Aggravated, the judge is right, by the predictability of the event. Predictable, not because hindsight is easy, because prediction is exactly what they did. They predicted the slide, drew its outline, built a tunnel around it, wrote it into an operating plan. The Vajont did not fail as a dam. It failed as an organization. They knew the mountain would fall. They believed they could choose when. The dam still stands, too strong to demolish, too notorious to use. Longarone was rebuilt beside its own absence. In 2008, UNESCO cited the Vajont as a textbook case of avoidable disaster. Tina Merlin, the journalist they prosecuted, had written this case file in advance. Her acquittal, 3 years before the wave, ruled that nothing she wrote was false or exaggerated. Somewhere right now, a risk everyone can see sits in a plan, listed as under control. Longarone was at the bottom.